I wanted to talk a little bit today about building a pantry in your home. Okay, so when we talk about building a pantry in your house, what is it not?
It is not a separate room.
It's not a separate room. Even though we have a separate room, you don't have to. So I like to make sure that we have about 6 months to a year of food and household things stored up. There's just some basic reasons why we decided that that was a good idea for our family. It keeps us from going to the store more often, which is good.
The apocalypse.
It keeps you alive during the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it saves us money in the long run. It just definitely saves us money. I don't know about you guys, but if I am going to go into a store just for one thing, I never come out just with one thing. And so I want to make sure that we don't have, ridiculous reasons to just run into stores and waste money.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure not of that. How do you build a pantry?
Okay, first tip is if it's not something that your family's going to use, do not buy it. Don't waste your money on it because you're not going to use it anyway. Don't buy it. Make sure it's something that your family is going to eat. Eat, right? We're talking about food.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, make sure it's something, so if they don't like, I don't know, nachos, don't buy nachos. Yeah.
Don't, if it's something that your family doesn't eat now, if it's something that your family doesn't like, don't waste that money, don't waste that space, because I know that for us, I realized that it takes up a lot more space in our house than I had originally anticipated. And that's okay, because it's things that we're going to use, it's useful to us, but space is a big commodity, so I want to make sure and not fill it up with things that our family is not using, yeah, for sure. And then the second thing I would say is that your storage containers are just as important as what you're actually putting in them. So you want to make sure that anything that you are getting, that you are taking care of. So I personally do not like plastic containers. If you don't have a problem with those, then by all means, plastic containers can be a really inexpensive way to get a lot all at once. I prefer glass if at all possible. So things like flour and sugar, when you buy them, they come in just paper packages. And it's an unfortunate fact of life that critters exist. So there are rodents and there are bugs. And if you are not taking things out of those packages at some point, you will probably go in to get flour out of a pantry and realize that there are moths or something yucky in them. So you want to make sure that whatever you're getting, whatever food you're getting, you're also getting really good containers to put them in. My only caveat to plastic is that I really like the 5-gallon buckets with gamma seal lids. Those just screw on to make it really easy to get your stuff in and out of. And we do keep dry goods in the 5-gallon buckets. And then the last thing that I would say is, though it is true that there are still things that we buy for convenience, that there are things that are prepackaged meals or foods or whatever that we do keep sometimes, anytime that it's possible when you're building up a pantry, ingredients are king. So you want to make sure that you're keeping as many ingredients as possible, because if all you have are prepackaged foods, then you are limited to those prepackaged foods. But if you have actual ingredients to make things from scratch, you can use that stuff to make, tons and tons and tons of different things. A really great example of that is we keep like dried fruits and nuts in our pantry all the time, and we use that for lots of different things. So
yeah, I use it to make a little trail mix so I can take to work and eat stuff, peanuts and chocolate chips or whatever I want to put in there. And we use the chips for cookies, for whatever some kind of chocolate chip banana bread.
Sounds good. I'll make some.
Yeah, so the more just ingredients you have, you can make different things with them. But you do have to make them.
Yes.
So it's not like you just put it in the oven or the crock pot. It is a crock pot, right? Yeah. So ingredients are good.
Ingredients are great. Another example of that is the dairy that I like to buy. I try to limit as much as possible to whole milk, buttermilk, and heavy whipping cream. And with those three things, I can use any combination of those and basic pantry ingredients and make things like sour cream, cream cheese, ricotta cheese, and it just makes it possible for us to invest a lot more into very specific ingredients that I can use in tons of different ways, and it gives us a lot more option later for what I can actually make. So, all of that being said, we're going to show you our pantries. So we have two different pantries. The first one is our working pantry, and that's this one behind us. And it has just basic ingredients that we use every day. So this is the stuff that is going to get used first. And then upstairs, in part of a storage room upstairs, we have our storage pantry, and that has a lot more like long-term ingredients and then overflow of things that we aren't.
Yeah. So it's like the extra sugar. If we run out of sugar down here, we go and get it. Right. In there. That kind of thing.
Yeah. So we're going to show you that now. What is that?
Cream of wheat. Farina.
Oh, cream of wheat. Yes.
All natural.
Yeah.
Ancient grains farina.
It's not an ancient grain.
No.
That's ridiculous. Okay. Okay, here is a tour of our very messy pantry. Now, I will say I did not clean this up for this video. Sometimes it's cleaner than this. Most of the time it is not. And so you guys are getting a full real life view of what it is that we keep in our house at all times. Okay, so we're gonna start at the bottom here. And this is where we keep like extra big things of white vinegar, apple cider vinegar. Down at right there is a 3-gallon bucket, I think, that has pasta in it. We keep club soda and extra juice and my beloved Dr. Pepper right there. So that's what we keep in that section. This section right here is we have a big thing of honey, some marshmallows that need to be refilled, cereal, graham crackers, and Yummy Bears, but I don't remember what the name of those are for real. We just call them Yummy Bears. What are they called for real?
What?
Yummy Teddy Grahams. Oh yes, we have Teddy Grahams in this section here. So all those things that are in the glass jars, those are just like snacks and cereals that we use. And then we have what I like to call the Yes basket over here. And that is just snacks that anytime that my kids are hungry, they can always come get those. They don't have to ask permission. And then just some plates and like plastic forks and stuff like that we use sometimes. My kids are making toast this morning, so there is crumbs all over the place, but in real life, right? That's okay. This is where we keep our microwave, and over here we have like all of our fats in this section right here, between our microwave and our toaster, and coffee and things like tea and syrup and another thing of honey and that sort of thing. But I just like to keep all of our fats right there. It just makes it quick and easy for us to grab. And then we have our microwave. On top of our microwave, that is a box that has kitchen bags for bread in it. And I think we have some hamburger buns and some bread that we did buy. And part of a loaf of bread that I made. But yeah, this is just where we keep our breads. This is our Vitamix and our mugs over here. Now, up here, we're getting more into our dry goods. And I'm not going to go through everything that we have in here just because I don't feel like that's absolutely necessary for us to do. But yeah, so this is this is the stuff that we use the most often. There's a few cans of things back there, bed and bouillon, that sort of thing. And then some dry goods that we use maybe a little bit less often, things like just plain white rice. We use basmati rice most of the time, but you know, that's still good to have plain white rice, right? So we have more dry goods up there, and then on the very top shelf we have some baskets that have just some extra things in it that we use enough for it to warrant having a home down here. And then we have things like some muffin mixes and bacon crumbles and that sort of thing on this side. Let me come on in and I will show you this side of our pantry. So our pantry makes like an L shape. And this is our broth section. So I have turkey, chicken, and beef broth happening up here. We have, if you go on up, that's like our canned meat section. I probably have, I don't know, 20, 30 things of canned meat up there. I do have some dehydrated vegetables up there as well. This is like a do as I say, not as I do. You should never, ever, ever stack your jars on top of each other like this. I ran out of space, and it just became necessary for us to do that. On this side, we have a lot of vegetables that we've canned, and fruits and jams, and some fruit lemonades and that sort of thing. And then down here we have pizza and pasta sauces, canned tomato products, some more canned vegetables that we did this summer, and then some store-bought cans of some things. There are some things like artichokes and black beans that are just honestly easier for me to just buy canned already from the store. And so that's where we're at right now, and that I am not prepared to do everything myself, and that's okay. I think that it is glorious to have those options. So some of the things that we like to do are have like our own chickens, but that might not be for everyone. This is a really great example of something that is simply just not for everyone. Some people do want to can every single fruit and vegetable that they eat in the fall and winter. That just is not for us. And so there are a few things that I do like to just have from the store. And then if you go down here, we have a very large selection of Oreos. That is our Oreos for all fall and winter, so that'll last us a really long time. And then going down here, I wanted to show you guys our 5-gallon buckets. So here's some of our 5-gallon buckets. We have flour and sugar and rice, and I think maybe cane sugar in there. And I have some wheat berries stored right there, and a box of ramen noodles because my kids love that. And we have some apples and bananas and maybe some oranges and tomatoes and that sort of thing. Alright, so that's what we store in this pantry. I will show you guys what we store in our storage pantry. This is our working pantry, like I said. So this is the stuff that we definitely use the most often, and I'll show you the things that we use a little bit less often, or things that we just have stored for a long time. Alright, I am certainly not going to go through everything that we have in here because it would take me probably hours for us to go through everything that's in here. I have some more canned stuff, some more pasta sauce, lots and lots and lots of juice and cereals and chips. This is actually our upstairs storage room. So we have more than just food in here, but we use the space that we have. One thing that I do have in here is a box that I have long-term stored potatoes in. If you want to know how I did that, let me know. Seems to be working really, really well. But yeah, this is just excess of things that we either have in our refrigerator that just have not been opened yet, or jars, or extra things that go in our working pantry that we just don't have, don't need yet. All right, guys, that's it. That's what our pantries look like. That's why and how we have built a pantry up. I absolutely plan on showing you guys some things that I make rather than buy from scratch that are just basic things that we keep in our refrigerator too. If you guys have any suggestions on things that you want to know what we use, any of the ingredients that we keep in our pantry on, just let me know and I would love to show that to you. In the meantime, thanks for watching, guys.